Hi everyone. So I thought we'd start with a quick icebreaker to get more comfortable with everyone. I read about this one on it was on page 49 and I thought it sounded really fun. Okay, so I picked a pretty easy icebreaker to start us off. It's called the three funny or weird things about me. Basically, we just share three random or slightly weird facts about ourselves. It doesn't have to be anything deep or serious, just something fun to get us talking, or maybe laugh a little bit before we get into like heavier stuff. And I can go first just to make it easier. The one weird fact is I literally cannot fold a fitted sheet to save my life. I just, crumble it into a ball and just pretend it's okay because it's okay for me. The second thing I do, I talk to my cat like she's a human pretty much. We have conversations at times, a lot. Anyways, three, this is really stupid, but I always forget I have an eyebrow piercing and I literally rip it every day, like on a towel, on a blanket every day. I never learn. Anyways, okay. Does someone else want to go? No pressure to be super funny or weird. Just a random funny fact that comes to mind. It can be like something small too, like a weird food combo or something. Just something unique and weird, I guess.
I can go next, I guess.
Okay.
Um, One thing weird about me, I don't know if it's necessarily weird, but I love Taylor Swift. I love all of her music and everything like that. Um, I'm really particular about like perfume smells,
Mhm.
so I like vanilla, but it has to be like a specific vanilla.
I
So
agree
that's
with
kind of
you.
weird. Yeah, and then playing off of what you said, I also talk to my dog all the time, like she can understand me. And sometimes she looks at me like I'm crazy, but it's whatever, I guess.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on the God, I can't talk. The perfume thing. I have to have something that smells like a bakery, like vanilla, like cookies,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
that's it. Anyways, does anybody else want to go?
I
Yeah.
can go.
No, you can go.
Okay, a couple fun facts about me is I'm originally from Florida, so actually the first time I saw snow, I was 18 when I was a freshman here.
Oh,
So it's a little
wow.
kind of funny. I had no idea what to do with myself. I just kind of ran out and just ran through the snow just because I was so excited.
Oh
That's
my, that's
Um,
crazy.
great.
I also talk to my pets. I have two cats that are kind of like my best friends. I love them to death. And another fun fact about me that not many people know is that I'm actually terrified of like the Christmas nutcrackers. You guys know those things scare me to death. I can't stand them.
They are scary.
Oh God. I'll go. Fun fact, I love cows. Um, Another thing would be, I mean, I also talk to my animals too. I also have like my siblings have 8 cats
Mm-hmm.
combined together. So there's a lot. And then we have 4 dogs. So I get that. Um, and another one, I'm from Maryland. Something weird, but from it.
Well, it's unique. It's great. I think it's yeah. Thanks for sharing. That was great. I think we're pretty warmed up now. The next thing I think we're gonna do is something a bit more reflective, I think. Okay, so for our main activity, I picked something called the issue exploration. It was on page 66 in the book, and it was really meant to help people think about where they're at and, what they're still working on. Originally, it was like used in addiction recovery groups, but since this isn't a addiction session, it's a mock session. I just wanted to emphasize that recovery can, mean a lot of things, a lot of different things. Like maybe recovering from burnout, or like maybe a toxic relationship, or like emotional exhaustion, or like for me, it's like academic stress. And like a lot of us usually are during the end of the semester. Anyways, whatever that looks like for you. And you don't have to explain your whole backstory or be like super deep about it either if you're not comfortable. It's just like a quick check-in. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna ask two questions and I'll give everyone a couple of seconds to think about it. The first question is, what are you working on specifically right now? And two, what do you feel like you need to what do you feel like you need to do right now in order to get there? And we'll just go around and talk about it together. And like I said before, there's absolutely no pressure to share if you're not comfortable. And if you don't want to share, you can just not like you can just say pass. It's completely okay. You can take your time thinking about it. You can also think about what you're currently working on in your recovery. It could be like a feeling or like a behavior, a relationship, or just anything right now that's important to you. And if you want to think about it even more, you could probably also think about what do you feel like you need to work on? Do you have a goal right now or like a challenge you want to accomplish? Or if I'm sorry if I'm not making sense. I'm trying to make sense.
You're good.
If you want me to repeat the question, the two questions I will. I probably maybe should have said write it down, but you can write it down if you want me to repeat it. But I can definitely go first just to make it easier. But basically, right now, I feel like personally, I'm working on being more patient with myself. I often put a lot of pressure on myself because I had this mindset that I want to do everything right, especially when it comes to school or like my future. And I'm just starting to realize that's not like realistic at all. So I'm just trying to be more okay with making mistakes or just needing more breaks because at the end of the day, I think that's okay. As for what I need to work on specifically, I'd say I'm still figuring out actively how to express my overall frustration in like a healthier way. Um, I I don't think I crash out or anything, but sometimes I just shut down. I resort to like stonewalling people when I'm upset, which isn't great at all because it definitely hurts the other person badly. So I'm just trying to be more like self-aware of that and learn how to talk about things before before they just pile up and I eventually explode. Um, would anyone else like to share, whatever you're comfortable with? If you rather pass, that's okay too.
I can go. Something that, what was the first part of the question again?
The first question was, what are you working on right now?
Yeah,
Actively.
something that I'm working on would definitely be time management. I
Mm-hmm.
have like no concept of time. I'm a big procrastinator. And when I like look at a time frame that I have, I like push my task to the last second because I'm like thinking I have enough time and I never end up actually do. And so what I'm working on, like the second part of the question, kind of plays off on that, like, trying to arrive earlier to things to make sure that I have enough time to be prepared, or making sure that, like, I don't wait and put everything off to the last second and give myself like the buffer of 10 minutes because sometimes that is what I need to like complete something.
That makes complete sense. Time management is one of the most important skills to have, but it's like one of the worst skills to learn,
Yeah.
especially in college. So I completely
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
All of us understand. Who's next? Or wait, no, the second question. I'm so sorry. What do you feel like you still need to work on? Or no, sorry. How do you, I don't know how to word it. How do you think you want to go about doing
Doing
it?
this.
How do you, you want to work on it, but how are you going to go about it?
Yeah, like I said, giving myself like a 10-minute buffer, like starting
Mm-hmm.
things, maybe just 10 or 5 minutes earlier than I usually would, just to see
Mm-hmm.
if that gives me more time, or like being okay with, sitting in the parking lot for those 5 or 10 minutes because I'm at the location that I'm supposed to be at.
Mm-hmm.
Like just making sure that I'm like teaching myself what it could look like if you gave yourself more time. That makes sense. So I think that could help me a lot.
I think so too. One thing I think it would help, but for me it did with my time management because I used to procrastinate really early on in the semester and I kind of started like rewarding myself, if that makes sense. if I want to watch TV or if I want to do something with my friend, I want to do a certain assignment on Monday so I can do something on Tuesday. Or
That's
like do
easy to,
something
yeah.
in like the morning, even though it sucks. But then that means I get to go out in the evenings and have fun.
Hmm.
So just rewarding. It's a small thing, but it's definitely worked for me.
Yeah, that's good. I will take that for sure.
Okay, great. Uh, Anybody else?
I'll go. One thing that I'm struggling with is stress management. I find myself like you guys said, like everything just piles up and it's just hard to, break that cycle once you get in it, especially when things are like assignments are due back to back. Like it's hard to find the time to like organize that out. So I guess time management as well. And what was the second question?
The second question is like I guess I didn't really think about it that well, but I was trying to say how do you plan on going about it? Like you you want to work on something, but how like what is your goal like to start it off? Like how are you gonna start it, begin it?
Okay. If I obviously plan my schedule out way better, and if I do get stressed out, maybe like take a second to go on a walk and just clear my head so that when I go back into it, I'm like, ready to do it, not stressed out, not overwhelmed by it.
That I think that's actually really good, and I actually will follow that advice because like I I guess it people never really think to go outside anymore. People are stressed and they don't do anything about it. So definitely going out and clearing your head or just like even watching movies, listening to music, just doing things you like, even though you have responsibilities. I think it's also like important to take care of yourself too, because it's your life. You only live once. But I'm not saying that like to you only live once to be risky. That's no, but I'm just saying like you need to t take care of yourself like 50% you and 50% your life. So like your quality of life is better because like stress can really impact your life. You can like, it's just not good. So definitely what you were saying about like going out and doing things, that's a really good start. Anybody else?
Yeah. One
Uh,
thing that
Oh,
uh,
sorry. I was gonna just tell you the question if you forgot it.
yeah,
The first question was, what are you currently working on right now?
be kind of letting people be who they are. So oftentimes I find myself trying to change people
Hmm.
and trying to kind of make them fit the idea of the life that I have for them. Just kind of, especially in my friends and my family, like if I see something that I see room for change, I kind of spend a lot of my energy and time just trying to change that person for what I think's a positive, something positive, even though I'm starting to realize that that's not always the best way to go about things, and you kind of just can't try to change people because it can really affect you mentally and emotionally. You kind of just have to allow people to be who they are and just accept it as it is.
Yeah, I think that's a really great goal to like, and it sounds like you're making really like progress if your goal is to your goal is to help your family. And like I understand what you were saying. Some people don't can't be fixed and there's going to be a lot of that in your life. So that's something definitely to work on because people definitely take advantage of that in life. But I think you're really right about being positive. I think we do need positivity, especially right now, and like willing to help people just to especially if it helps you. That's really great. And I just wanted to commend everybody for being so open and honest for this activity. I think it was really great to hear what you're working on right now and your goals on how you want to improve or how you want to like transition into the next thing in your life. And anyways, since we're pretty much done, like the hard stuff, I thought we'd close on a positive, uplifting note. Um, For our closing activity, I just wanted to end with something hopeful and kind of sweet. This exercise is kind of a reflection where we just share one message or just one piece of wisdom we tell the whole world if we could. So if you had the like entire world's attention right now, like at this very moment, what's like one thing about recovery or your life th that you'd want everyone to know, like as of right now? And it can be seriously anything, like a lesson you've learned or like just a motto you live by that like gets you through life. And like I just wanted to emphasize there's literally no wrong answer for this. I actually love this little ending because I think it really lets us focus on like a positive takeaway. Anyways, I'll just give you guys a minute to think about it and like it can just be as simple as like people can change, you know? Like whatever message you feel like is in your heart right now. I know that sounds cheesy. I just want to hear it, you know? So if anybody wants to go first.
I can go.
Okay.
Something that I really live by and something that I tell myself every day and everyone around me is like, it doesn't matter. Like nothing is that serious because I know sometimes we all get like caught up like in school or trying to please people and trying to like do what others want of us or like when we're really stressed, it
Hmm.
can get really hard to remember this, but like nothing is that deep. Nothing really matters. And just like don't sweat small stuff because half the time it's things that you can't even control.
I completely agree, and I love that message, and I think it's like it's you're so true about that, and I think your message can help a lot of people, I think. Definitely I'm definitely gonna remember that for myself. Anybody else?
I'll go.
Okay.
Live life to the fullest. Like you said before, you only get one life, so you might as well make it count, you know?
Within reason.
Yes.
Within reason. I like don't do something dumb, please. But I completely agree. Like especially like don't let something like don't avoid something just 'cause like what could or couldn't be. And I think that's what you were getting at. And I think that's
Mhm.
such a good, yeah, that's really good advice. Anybody else? Okay.
So a quote that I've always lived by and that I love to tell a lot of people is that every person has two lives, and the second one begins when you realize you only have one. And that's one of my favorite quotes to live by. Just it kind of reminds me that we do only have one life that we've been gifted. So just like Riley said earlier, don't sweat the small stuff and just enjoy every second of your life because one day you'll realize that you only have one and it'll be over before you know it.
I completely agree. That's a very strong, impactful statement, and I completely agree with you. That was really deep. I have to actually think about
Yeah,
that.
sorry about that.
I might get back to you on that, but I think I'm going to share mine for now because I actually want to think about that. My message to the world would be, you're stronger than you think. And I chose this specifically because, like, personally going through healing, it's taught me that, like, I'm more capable or I'm capable of, like, so much more than I, like, thought used to think. And, like, at the end of the day, like, if you doubt yourself a lot, you just have to find your inner strength and just keep going. Even if you don't want to, you just have to. Anyways, I just wanted to thank you all for, just yeah, the wisdom was really uplifting and it was great and it really it put me in a really good mood. So like thank you guys for that. Anyways, I think that's a pretty note to end on. Before we're officially finished, I just wanted to say thank you all again and I just wanted to say you all did a great job contributing. You all like contributed like equally and I just think it was great. Thank you for being a great group. Bye.